Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another news video for Final Fantasy XIV. This one a quick one then, hot off the press from TGS 2020, which is the Tokyo Game Show. Final Fantasy XIV had a very small section in the Tokyo Game Show where basically Yoshi P joined a server, did Puppet's Bunker whilst talking alongside Foxclon, as well as Yosuke Saito and Yoko Taro as well from a Nier franchise, talking about the Puppet's Bunker. And along the way we actually had various amounts of hilarity, and some of it's still yet to be translated, but I'm sure we'll have quite a bit of fun time reading the paragraphs that they were talking about. But the main point that I wanted to make this video about is we finally have a release date for patch 5.35. This is something I expected might come from the next letter from a producer live, but I'm frankly very happy we got this today. So 5.35's release date will be October the 13th, 2020. So that's not too far in the future. It's sort of like that mid-October sort of range, just to the start of it. A lot earlier than I expected, but we all did predict October, myself included, which is really big news. So if you're looking forward to the new housing, because obviously we're getting more housing plots added, in addition to the Bosnia Southern Front, which is also in that patch, then get hyped for October the 13th. If you're interested in patch 5.4, some very interesting information came out, and they say that 5.4 is currently under development for a December release schedule. Very interesting. They don't give a specific date on that, but they're in progress of the development. It's full swing, and at the moment they're aiming for December. This is actually way earlier than I expected. I thought that 5.4 might even lead towards January of the next year, but I'm pleasantly surprised. 5.4 obviously being a storyline and of course main raid tier patch. So that's something definitely to look forward to. But there we go. Those are the two main Final Fantasy XIV pieces of news that I wanted to share. So 5.35, October the 13th release. 5.4, aiming for December. Bearing that in mind then, there's lots of things to look forward to, and you can sort of plan your future out a little bit better in terms of any time you want to take off and things like that. If you do plan to take off time from work in and around December, obviously closer to Christmas, then this is probably going to be a great Christmas present for you in 5.4. Just whilst we're still here, there was some Final Fantasy XVI information, very small amounts, mostly because they weren't supposed to be talking about it. In fact, it was actually Yoko Taro's fault that it was brought up at all. So essentially, Yoshida resulted actually commenting on the feedback that they had from the trailer for Final Fantasy XVI. He says, "We're focusing on development right now. At the end of October, we're opening a Final Fantasy XVI teaser site with information on characters and their world. The next big information, however, will be in 2021. The other point that he mentioned here is that a lot of people have been talking about the graphics of Final Fantasy XVI. He does stress that the graphics are not final and not representative of the final product, and currently they're working very hard on that. So they just wanted to put something together that's actually using some in-engine features, which is really cool. And so some of that footage is, actually done in-engine. It's not just a pre-rendered cutscene with a logo slapped on the end, which is very interesting indeed. Anyway, I thought that I'd add that to the end of this news part because it's of interest. The rest of the TGS Final Fantasy XIV coverage was just basically idle chatter, and it was great to hear the passion from the developers and basically to see them again. It's been a while since we saw them on live stream, so it's really nice. Anyway, look forward to October the 13th. I'm very hyped for that. Obviously, we'll be featuring all of that information in upcoming videos, and 5.4 is just around the corner in December. Very hyped for that indeed. Thank you kindly for watching, and I'll see you all next time.